Hey everyone, Whackjob14 here, and we're bringing you another episode of The Armory, the series where I talk about history of guns and weapons used throughout World War One, at least for the Battlefield 1 series, and when Call of Duty World War 2 comes out, same thing there. Today we're moving on with the Battlefield 1 series, part of this, and we're going to talk about the Sjorgen Inertia. You'll see gameplay of me using this on Sinai Desert, harassing snipers throughout in hilarious situations. So first off, the history of the weapon. It's a 12-gauge semi-automatic shotgun made by Swedish inventor Carl Axel Theodor Sjorgen, long name, and not surprisingly it was made in Sweden, but also made in Denmark. I don't know why I said also twice. Roughly 5,000 were built between 1908 and 1909. It was used by Allies and Central Powers alike, which is weird, and also used very limitedly in World War II. And that's the only history I could dig up without going into the more is true, not 100% verified history about it. With most guns in this game, there's some accuracies depending on where you look for your research. I usually try to find museum web pages and stuff like that to go off of. If you go off into the Wikipedia, you'll start seeing, the versions that Battlefield 1 bring up, which may or may not have historical truth to it, but at least they have a base gun that has some historical truth in it. But we'll get to those when we get to those in the series. Today is just the Inertia shotgun here. At first off, when it was first released in the French DLC They Shall Not Pass, the DLC 1 for Battlefield 1, I was not much of a fan of it. There was other shotguns I would use, Model 10A Hunter, I'm ashamed to say, and a couple others that I would put probably ahead of this one when I first used it. But when I was starting to use it to record for this series and this episode, I was on a couple different maps, and I finally came to this map, and I said, screw it, I'm just going to use the gun on this map. And lo and behold, it was amazing. I think I went 82 and maybe in the 30s, maybe high 20s with it, just going ham. Being very, very aggressive, which is unlike me, very much so when I'm using shotguns. When I use shotguns, I think of the linear, in typical warfare, I'll use a shotgun in a city environment, an environment where I know if I need to check my corners a lot, or if there is corners, I can use a shotgun. You think desert, not going to be a lot of corners for checking your corners, and there's not going to be a lot of buildings, at least for the biggest chunk of the maps. In Sinai Desert, there's a chunk where there are buildings, and I could use it then, which I normally would use if I died recently before going to the next section. I would switch to a shotgun. But in this situation, I said, screw it, let's just use a shotgun all the way through, and it was amazing. Sneaking up, being very aggressive on snipers, support classes. I don't think I killed many medics or assault just because I wasn't in the vicinity. I was in the vicinity of the snipers in the support class. Just wreaking havoc as much as I could, because me and my team struggled really hard on this map. We got to this point fairly easily, and then just hit a brick wall when we got to the first objective of this operations, the last map of this operations, which kind of sucks. At least we got to it though. Usually I don't get to this map when I'm playing operations, so change of pace, but still kind of sucked that we didn't fully push through. But like I said, here you can see me being very aggressive. Well, right here I can just see me being stupid and trying to shoot a guy very far away, because this shotgun does not have much distance, but what it lacks in distance is the abrasiveness or destructive power it has close up. And the way I can spam that trigger to get guys like that, not really worrying about aiming, kind of being a total dick about it, it's great if you want to do that the whole time while playing this game. But that is it for history, and my opinion of it. Pretty good. You just gotta let the gun do what it wants to do and not make the gun do what you want it to do, if that makes sense. You gotta work with the gun here, and it'll show you a good old time. But that's it for me. If you liked the video, give it a like, and if you really like the video, you could subscribe. And I guess I'll see you in the next episode of The Armory. See you later.
objective butter.
We're going to capture the objective.